For a lot of NF types, you might deal with a constant existential crisis being the theme of your life. Because there are so many unfair systems in the world, NFs kind of realize, oh, a lot of things in life are not working towards the better, bigger picture of everything overall. It's not creating better human cycles. It's creating worse human cycles. You're kind of living life backwards as an NF. You feel like you understand the big important questions first, and you actually want to find the answers to them, even if there isn't really truly an answer to them. You just want to percolate them to further understand it. Whereas people kind of think about these things at the end of their lives. It can feel a little empty playing into systems that don't feel like they have a bigger service that they play unto humanity or a greater whole. You feel like you're a cow that's being fed food for slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like prison food, but you almost feel like, oh, is this all life is?
Mm-hmm.
Is this all life amounts to?
When it comes to my coaching, I believe that the auxiliary function is usually the key to bringing a lot more fruit into a person's life. I believe that FE is definitely the avenue in which an INFJ, when they're in that kind of like loop of that existential crisis of like life has no meaning and no purpose, like all of that, there's a way out of that.
I find that nihilism, a really dark form of it, can exist if you're not mentally stimulated a lot, because then now you're stuck with only you being the one who can mentally stimulate you, which doesn't increase your faith that the world has meaning, because you're like, great, only I can create meaning within myself because no one can talk to me and we can have conversational meaning.
Right.
But when you have a friend who can mentally stimulate you, that can create meaning, because you're like, wow, this exchange that we have together provides meaning in my life, so I can actually create meaning. And so that nihilism transforms into existentialism, where existentialism is you start out with the world has no intrinsic sense of meaning, so you can actually create it, you can make it. Friends have helped me get into that space.
I think ever since I've known about type, I've been constantly looking for doorways, metaphysical doorways that have introverted intuition written on them. Any opportunity that I have to be able to go through that door of introverted intuition, whenever it pops up, I make sure to try to find a way to access it, because I know that that's what's going to bring me the most quality in my life. Now I've gotten to a point where, because I have entered so many of those doors and I've made that like muscle memory to now look for every opportunity where I can find meaning in things, then I also create meaning and stuff. I refer to myself as an alchemist of some sort. And so now, even when it comes to small talk, I find a way to make meaning out of that. We're not just going to sit there idly and talk about something that's, seemingly mundane or SE. We're going to find a way to make it enriching. We're going to find a way to make it purposeful, so that every waking moment that I'm alive, there's going to be meaning and intention put behind it. But if you don't spend that time, if you're an ENFJ, thinking about meaning and the purpose and what you want in life, and having a vision and being intentional with your relationships and every step that you take in that way, then you're just going to keep on being in this monkey mind, FESE, help this person, help that person. I'm being pulled this way, I'm being pulled that way. You won't know who to say no to. You won't know who to say yes to. You're going to be drained all the time. You're going to start complaining. You're going to start becoming passive aggressive and bitter. Like, I helped this person, they never got back to me, this, that. But when you find that meaning and that intentionality, then you find a zen that's internal for you, that'll be able to then help you move through the world and navigate the world in a way that's actually quite mystical in a fashion. And it'll draw the right energy towards you. And you also radiate and influences the energies around you. And I think that INFJs also have a very similar spot in where they get to in that way.
Mm-hmm.
また夜が明ければお別れ夢は時幻に